American and International Societies for Yad Vashem Remembrance Award, presented to Rose and Philip Friedman for perpetuating the lessons of the Holocaust and the legacy of your parents. Annual tribute dinner, Sunday, November 15, 2015, Pierre Hotel. Leonard Wilf, Chairman of the Board, American and International Societies for Yad Vashem. Avner Shalev, Chairman of the Directorate, Yad Vashem, Jerusalem.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends. Thank you for everyone who came. I prepared this speech, but given the fact that Wolf Blitzer spoke ahead of me, I will try to improvise and deliver a little bit different speech, because a lot of what he talked about can be easily related to my family. I will tell you that growing up in the former Soviet Union, and given the fact that our parents didn't talk about what happened during the Holocaust, I was growing up while intuitively I knew what was happening. I knew that I grew up without grandparents, without aunts and uncles, and I knew that something terrible happened in the world. But up till age of 17, when on my very first trip outside of Soviet Union, I had the opportunity to go to Poland, and I visited Auschwitz. I was with a group of about 30 Russians, the only Jew. And I will never forget that I was standing in front of a see-through crystal urn with ashes that were collected from the crematorium. And I cried. And the Russians couldn't understand. It was very somber. They understood the tragedy. But they didn't understand how this 17-year-old standing here in front of this urn and crying. And for the next 3 days, I didn't sleep, I didn't eat. This is the first time it started to sinking in what I was deprived of, what my parents went through, and what the Jewish people went through. So to me, being involved with Yad Vashem, it's not just another charity. To me, it's personal. To me, it's personal. 70 years after liberation, we only now getting up to the numbers of Jews we had before the war. Only now we're getting close. 70 years. Think about it. How many talented people? How many scientists? How many people we could have given to the world if not for the Holocaust? I'm very pleased that we have the granddaughter of Dwight Eisenhower here today, because he had 70 years ago, he had the vision and understanding to document what happened. He documented what we found in concentration camps, because he saw that one day the world will not believe it. One day the world will question the Holocaust. Did it happen? And unfortunately, he was right. Today, we still have people questioning the Holocaust. Anti-Semitism is on the rise around the globe. Israel is being vilified. BDS is spreading on the campuses of universities. Today, we still need to prove that Jews are full citizens of the human society. We are being questioned. So what's happening today with ISIS, and I can't help, but we need to talk about, because what's happening is terrible. But we saw the signs of it many years ago. Rose and I went to Toulouse. We went to the yeshiva where they killed innocent young kids for the only reason of being Jews. I went to Hungary, where the fascists are getting into the parliament. I went to meet with the government in Greece, where the fascists ended up taking 16% on the vote and ended up in the government. They ended up in the European Parliament. So the world, sometimes I think the world is losing its soul. We cannot relax. We cannot, for a minute, think that it's over. It cannot happen again. I believe that we need to be vigilant. And let me make the last point of what I'm going to say tonight. It is very important, and it's on us, that everyone takes a stand and stands up and be counted. This is a war. The war we need to win. The war we need to win on behalf of our children, on behalf of our grandchildren. And while one looking at what's happening in the world can be depressed and can think that we will not prevail, I still have hope, and I will tell you why. I see in this room a lot of young people, and I know that by their presence, they're declaring that they understand what needs to be done. I understand that we will leave this world in good hands, because they will take the mission and carry it forward. When you walk in, into Yad Vashem, and I am sure most of you have been there, the very first thing you see on the wall is a movie. Children singing Hatikva. Children thinking about hope. That movie was filmed in the backyard I grew up. That was the backyard of the Munkachi Rebbe. And it was filmed because President Masaryk was coming to the wedding of his daughter, and the Jewish life of Munkac was filmed. But to me, it's symbolic. Children singing Hatikva. I'm a believer. We will succeed. We will overcome. Thank you. Thank you very much.